Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at the NBA news for October 4th. And again, pretty slow news day, but really, who cares? We're still covering every single thing about the NBA. So, we have two stories, and of course the player of the night, everyone's favorite. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, our first story is going to be about the New York Knicks. And they have been really active in the past few days with NBA news. Of course, they said or have emerged as the favorites to land Kevin Durant next offseason. So, yeah, there's been a lot of news coming out of New York, but kind of just a lineup update for the New York Knicks. David Fizdale, who's their new coach, they hired him this offseason. He has not ruled out the idea of starting Frank Ntilikina. So, if you guys didn't know, last year the Knicks drafted Frank Ntilikina, and he was viewed as a huge project. He has like a 7'1" wingspan, and is really a defensive point guard, all defense. He had no offense, but he had the physical tools to become an offensive player. So, last year, pretty poor year. It might be what we'd expect, but we didn't know much about him because he wasn't from the United States. So we didn't know much about him. Comes in, has a poor rookie season, and now we've been seeing a little bit more on him in the off season. Like, we've been seeing that he's been working on his offense in the off season, and he's looked all right in the preseason. He had a few good plays. His best play probably coming when he dunked on whoever from Brooklyn, but he has been doing all right. He's seemed to really excel in the pick and roll. That seems to be something that he really is good at, and that's really the only positive from him on offense, is pick and roll. And it's clear that the Knicks really aren't going to win this year. Other competition for him in the point guard position would be Emmanuel Mudiay or Trey Burke. Probably Trey Burke is going to be the starter, but Frank Ntilikina, he has a chance. If he has one good game in the preseason, he could actually make a start, and I really think that he improved a lot on his offense this offseason. And it's not all in the box score. You can't really see it in the box score. He had like a 9-point game, and I forget what else, but he's been really good at controlling the offense in the pick and roll this preseason. I don't know if that will carry over to the NBA season, but I think as of right now, if the Knicks are trying to win now, Trey Burke is their guy. But if the Knicks want to win long term, which I think they do, Frank Ntilikina might be a very interesting choice, and I think that it might work out for them, depending on if he can, play with the guys such as Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson and whoever else. Who knows who the Knicks have at this point. Frank Ntilikina would be kind of interesting to see. Probably not. Trey Burke will probably start. Alright, our next story will actually be one that probably everyone has heard about the Boston Celtics and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has committed to Boston long term. It's not, he hasn't signed a contract, he hasn't done any of that, but he has committed verbally to Boston, and this was announced in front of the entire arena and has been broadcasted everywhere. So it's not like a private agreement. Kyrie kind of can't go back on this. It's a verbal agreement that everyone knows about. And if he goes back on this and goes to like New York or something, that would be insane. Like, Kyrie would be more hated than Kevin Durant if he does that. Honestly. But, this isn't a surprise. After he said that he loves it in Boston, we should have known that he was going to resign. People had fun with their rumors in the offseason about Kyrie and Jimmy just wanting to plan up and group up in the offseason, but we kind of knew that probably wasn't going to happen because Jimmy Butler, they're in totally different situations. Jimmy Butler hates where he is, and Kyrie loves it. He loves it there, and it's good for him. He's 26 years old, and he's the leader of this young team that seems to actually have a chance to win the championship this year. Really depends on how DeMarcus Cousins comes back. If Cousins comes back healthy, then there's no chance. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is probably the best center in the NBA when healthy. But I don't know. It's an Achilles injury, and I don't know if he's going to come back healthy. I think Boston is one of the sleepers to win the NBA championship this year. And they're like the second best team in the league. But because Golden State is viewed as such an untouchable, dynasty they have, I think the bets on them are going to be super high. In Boston actually might be able to, give you bang for your buck, as some people like to say. I mean, we moved on from the story. Kyrie Irving, no surprise here. But honestly, he's 26, probably not in his prime yet, getting close. And he's going to be the leader of this young team. And I think they're going to be good for 10, 15 years. Really depends on how the contract situation works out, how the money works out. Really depends on who takes the pay cut on that team, because Marcus Smart, he didn't really take a pay cut. I don't know if Terry Rozier is going to take a pay cut. I actually highly doubt he's going to take a pay cut. Kyrie, I don't know. He might take a pay cut because he just kind of screwed himself by saying, I'm staying in Boston no matter what. I love it here in Boston and stuff like that. He just screwed himself. It's like car negotiation. Like if you say, I love this car, I need this car, I'll buy it at any cost, then, they're going to give you such a high amount that, you're not going to get a good deal. You're going to get pretty much screwed. And that's pretty much what Kyrie did to himself right there. But I'm sure that he loves it in Boston, and it's going to be hard to see him not take a max deal, but if he is really committed to this team winning, then I'm sure he will. And, of course, our last story, player of the night. If you guys looked at the title or thumbnail, then you guys, of course, know who it is going to be. It's going to be Brandon Ingram. And last night he had 31 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 10 for 15 shooting from the field. And he actually didn't make a three-pointer last night. He was 0 for 1 from the three-point line. And putting up 31 points without a three-pointer, that's actually really impressive. So let me address the title. No, I don't think Brandon Ingram is better than LeBron. But here's the thing. Brandon Ingram's game is like a Walmart version of Kevin Durant. He's a big guy who, don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant is much better than Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Ingram is better at rebounding, and I believe that the Lakers are looking at LeBron and Kuzma and all these other guys for the center position. I don't see why they aren't going with Brandon Ingram. Yes, he does look like a skeleton out there and really has no muscle, but Kyle Kuzma's not much better, and Brandon Ingram is much better at rebounding and much more experienced at that aspect of playing, the bigger guys compared to Kuzma. Maybe it's just me I don't know, that Kuzma just seems ridiculous, but here's the thing. I believe Brandon Ingram his style of play is much better suited for the NBA compared to LeBron's. I'm not saying Brandon Ingram's better than LeBron, but Brandon Ingram, his game is in that right direction. It's going with the NBA, and that's something LeBron James' game is not. His game is kind of not fitting with the current NBA, meta or wave, all the shooting and stuff. Although LeBron is a freak of nature, he's not as tall as Brandon Ingram. He is much, stronger. But that doesn't really matter in a position in this league. And LeBron, yeah, he's a freak of nature. He can get in the paint, he can score, he can do literally everything. But Brandon Ingram can shoot much better than LeBron. And he is someone that kind of plays, I saw a point guard out of him. That's one thing I never saw out of Brandon Ingram before. He played kind of like a LeBron last night. Didn't take a lot of three-pointers. Was a little bit more passive than we usually see, or should I say more smart. He was more smart with the shots he took. He wasn't just chucking up three-pointers like he did sometimes last year. He only shot one. And he was trying to get to the paint more. And LeBron just usually powers his way through. And Brandon Ingram was actually doing dribble moves. He was getting past them because although Brandon Ingram is taller, he does have a disadvantage in that aspect. He can't just drive through people. So he was taking a lot of middies. He was just dribbling through. He was doing a lot of crossovers, and it's something I've never seen from Brandon Ingram. It was really interesting last night because it felt like his game was much different compared to last year or even his rookie year. If you watch his film from rookie year, his game has changed so much. He's improved, he's improved. But if you look at his game and the way he is playing the game, he's playing more like a point guard compared to his rookie year when he was playing like a small forward, a power forward. Now he's kind of accepting his role that he has to be someone that can score points and pass the ball. He's not the number one guy anymore. I don't know if he ever was, but he's not anymore. He's accepting that, and I'm surprised to see, because some people that LeBron has had to deal with in his career, they did not accept what Brandon Ingram's going through. I'd make the argument that Dwayne Wade didn't accept that, but it's kind of hard to tell because Wade was often hurt and Bosh as well, so they weren't really, they were past their prime when they were playing with LeBron. And Kyrie, he definitely didn't accept that. He wanted to be the number one guy, and he got what he wanted. He got really lucky actually going to Boston, but he got what he wanted, so that's good for him. But Brandon Ingram looks to be the only teammate LeBron has ever had to be really good, and also accepting the fact that he's not the guy anymore. He's not the man anymore. It's going to be interesting to see. This is going to be something new from LeBron and something to watch. This Lakers team is already a must-watch, but this just adds another aspect or another layer to that, just amazing entertainment they have in Los Angeles for the Lakers and stuff like that. So, I came into the season thinking that the Lakers were going to be somewhat like the Cavs, but Brandon Ingram has changed my mind a lot, and I'm not a fan of Brandon Ingram. I still think Jason Tatum's better, but Brandon Ingram has shown me that he can still ball out even as the second guy, and he can do stuff that really people don't care about, like rebounds and assists and just being able to score. And that's something Brandon Ingram can do, and it's in the modern NBA. Brandon Ingram does that so well, and that's something that LeBron, he scores, but it's not as efficient as Brandon Ingram, and I think that's the word I'm looking for. No, Brandon Ingram is not better than LeBron, but I'd argue he's a little bit more efficient, and we're going to see if that argument, becomes valid throughout the season. So, let me know what you guys think of that down below. He's definitely not better than LeBron. He will never be better than LeBron, but he's already more efficient, in my opinion. So, let me know what you guys think of that down below. More efficient for modern day NBA standards, at least. So, is that argument valid? Am I allowed to say that Brandon Ingram is more efficient than LeBron? Or is LeBron just better at everything compared to Brandon Ingram? Let me hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. And also, what do you think of Frank Ntilikina starting? If you aren't big Knicks fans, then you won't really understand that one. Or if you aren't really diehard NBA fans, then you won't understand what that really means. But it would be actually pretty huge if Frank Ntilikina starts. and it would be a huge change for the Knicks basketball. I mean, it would be interesting to see that progress throughout the season. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a comment down below. This stuff, all that stuff. You know what to do. I hope you know what to do because you guys are on YouTube. So, thank you guys for watching, and see you